Hello, hello, hello. ¿Cómo está mi gente de YouTube? Mi gente de YouTube, mi gente de YouTube. Buenos días a todos, espero que estén pasándolo muy bien este día de hoy. Un día muy bonito, otro día más de verano. Entonces, este es su guía, su mentor, su maestro de español, hablándoles desde acá. Bueno, no importa realmente dónde estoy, lo que importa es el contenido de lo que voy a decir ahorita, ¿ok? Entonces, como le digo muy bien, espero que se encuentren muy bien. Feliz día de hoy. El día está soleado hoy, entonces el plan es ir a hacer 45 o 60 minutos de ejercicio uh, y luego prepararse para el día para trabajar. Entonces, um, muchas cosas importantes, ¿verdad? Uh, Hay que empezar el día por, primeramente, levantarse y darle gracias a Dios por todas las bendiciones que tenemos. Ah, Pensar en las cosas bonitas que tenemos, la familia, nuestra salud, que si no tenemos salud, pues de nada vale, ¿verdad? También por el simple hecho de estar vivos, ¿verdad? Recientemente, mientras estaba haciendo mi rutina diaria de la mañana, estaba viendo en el teléfono a personas muy jóvenes falleciendo. O sea, hay una actora, no recuerdo su nombre, es Michael, I think it is, no recuerdo bien su nombre. Murió de 33 años, ¿verdad? O sea, wow, cuando ves esas noticias de las calamidades y las cosas que están pasando en el mundo, te pones a pensar, wow, una persona llena de vida y ya no está en esta tierra. Entonces, tenemos que utilizar todos nuestros talentos y habilidades para poder crecer y desarrollarnos, tanto física como espiritualmente también. ¿Okay? Porque de nada vale tener muchas cosas en esta vida si perdemos al final nuestra moral, nuestros principios, ¿verdad? Y en lo que creemos. Bien, ok, este va a ser breve, ok, porque lo voy a cortar. Voy a llegar en 5 más o menos, como algunos 10 minutos al gimnasio, entonces voy a tener que cortarlo porque voy a tener que pasar con mi teléfono, entonces tengo que pasar el código para poder entrar al gimnasio. Estoy yendo al YMCM, es un lugar que tú vas y puedes hacer ejercicios y todo es dentro, ¿verdad? Indoor. Mucha gente está, hey, pero este moreno hablando español. Bueno, yo puedo hablar español, entonces de hecho, por eso me llamo el maestro de español, ¿verdad? Y estoy aquí para traer positividad, no solamente hablar sobre la cultura, el lenguaje, la comida, la música, pero también hablar de cosas que son positivas. En el día de hoy, cuando me levanté, estaba escuchando un libro que se llama El Manifiesto a la Motivación. Estoy leyendo libros de superación personal para poder aprender más sobre personas que han sido exitosas en muchos ámbitos en su vida. Y la primera cosa que hice es que habla del éxito y cómo el éxito puede influir en la motivación de las personas. Pero también dice que nosotros somos Brendan Brasher, quien es el autor de este libro, y puedo ponerlo luego en los comentarios. Voy a poner como título la motivación, el manifiesto, y de esa forma ustedes pueden ver abajo cuando convierta este video, uh, lo ponga en YouTube, ¿ok? So, el manifiesto, la motivación, habla de 9 principios importantes o declaraciones positivas que tenemos que hacer a nosotros mismos. Yo solamente le voy a hablar brevemente de uno. Uno de ellos es que nosotros podemos crear nuestra propia realidad. Basically, that you can create your own reality. And how you do that? How you can create your own reality? Well, you got to start by thinking that you can do things that you cannot. I'm not saying that you're gonna like, you know, jump out of the plane and start flying or something like that. Which I think you can if you have a parachute, right? You basically can float in the air. Uh, like nowadays, people are, you know, they're going to the moon. So if you can do things like that, extraordinary things, by believing that you can do it, I mean, why not? I think that the sky is the limit. So there's a lot of things that you can definitely do. So trust me in that when I said that there are a lot of things that you can do if you put your mind to it. But everything starts with a plan. So when about which I'm gonna put in the description so you can kind of check them out. I use Headway. Headway is an application that summarizes all the books that you can find out what you can think of, and they give you 15 maybe 20 minutes of like pure information. They condense and summarize all the information of the book so you can get it right away and get the most of whatever literature like information of that particular book that you're reading or you wanted to know more about. So I use now right now when I go for my 10 15 minutes back, right? You gotta basically believe in yourself, because if you can't create your own reality. You know, you can't create your own reality, and that's what he said. Brendan says that in order for you to be successful in everything, you have to start by like believing in yourself and investing in yourself. How you do that? By reading good books. When you wake up, having like a specific routines, so you can kind of basically use your time. Okay, because you only have 24 hours in a day, and it's taking me a lot of time to kind of figure this out for myself. I mean, I'm old enough to understand that if you don't maximize your time and you do the things that you're supposed to, you're not going to get from point A to B or whatever goals you have. So, yeah, it's uh, it's important. It just uh, it's simple to say, but it's hard to do because you have to create different habits. And as you create different habits, then you're gonna grow, and then you're gonna obviously change your point of view. Um, Nowadays, you don't have to go to college or to get a master degree to understand how things work. With the use of technology, um, I'm not saying that education is not important. Hold on a second, because I'm pro education. I love education. I went to school myself. I even had the blessing to have further my education by having a master degree and all that. I'm not saying that just because I want to like elevate myself or nothing like that. All I wanted to say is that if you don't get to know understand how things works, you're not gonna be able to get where you want to be. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And in order to do that, you have to get that knowledge. Okay, I'm not the best at everything because nobody is, but I know some things. All right. And one of the things that you're gonna be learning with me is like I'm real. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. All right. When it comes to like Spanish language acquisition, I'm gonna tell you everything I know. When it comes to cultural awareness, I'm gonna tell you everything I know. Why? Because I have experienced all this stuff. Okay. I've been through it. uh like I know what it takes to learn a new language. I didn't grow up like speaking English, okay? Period. And I know you hear a lot of different stories, or things about different people, because there are many stories like mine that are unique that people tell, and you can get moved by those stories, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't do anything. Does that make sense? So knowledge is nothing if you don't apply it. And I'm preaching to the choir right here because this is for me actually. Okay, because I know if you work out, exercise, do the things that you're supposed to, you're gonna be healthy. So I start putting that as a priority in my life. Okay, I know that you gotta better communicate yourself with others in order to be understood. So that I'm not really good at it. I'm still struggling. I'm trying to be a better communicating with things and with people, specifically within uh, my family too, right? Those if you are a family member, you are gonna live with people around you. So therefore, you got to be able to kind of speak, trying to kind of be respectful and teach the people that are in your circle too as well the same thing. You can demand respect if you're not being respectful with others. So that's very important. Okay. And you all know that. Okay. Hopefully you understand that. So that, okay, this video is getting a little longer. I just wanted to speak for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna hit the gym. Like I said, I'm gonna put that book in the description so you guys can kind of check him out, and then later we can talk about it. But yeah, there are 4 principles that I'm gonna be focusing on anytime I talk to you, and those 4 principles have like suit niches. The first one is motivation of desire, which is la motivación o el deseo de hacer las cosas, ¿verdad? And then the second one is basically you have to have systems in place. What does that mean? So, well, if you're going to be doing whatever you're going to do, you got to have like a strategic plan and how you're going to achieve that and how you're going to obtain that. And in order to get it, like anything, you have to have a certain system, and that applies with language acquisition too. And the other thing is like patience, patience. And what I'm saying, patience is really, really important, because what happens is if you're not patient with yourself and patient with the whole entire world, you're gonna get nuts. You're gonna get crazy. You're gonna get frustrated, and then you're gonna give up. You're gonna give up your dreams. You're gonna give up things. So and you learn by your mistakes, right? And that's why patience is so important. And the last thing is having fun within the process. What does that mean, Spanish master? Well, that means that um, even though you're not where you want to be yet, but you know that you're going to be there, you got to have fun within the process. So you got to be try to be happy within the process. All right. So those 4 principles, you're gonna hear me a lot talking about those, because those 4 principles have helped me a lot in my life, in my personal life, and also in my language acquisition career, as a teacher, as an educator, as a mentor too, as well to other teenagers and people that are around my area, my circle of friends and things like that. All right, mi gente, gracias por verme en YouTube por esos 10 minutos. Voy ahora al gimnasio, entonces voy a hacer otro video más pequeño de 5 o 6 minutos para explicar un poquito más y hablar más de la motivación y del libro que pues le recomendé. Voy a poner el libro, la recomendación en la descripción. Brendan, the manifesto, the motivation, that book, I'm going to put it in. I'm not getting any money or any type of like incentive. Like when I'm telling you that book can help you a lot to understand things and how that can literally help you a lot. You got to check them out. And if you don't have that app, you can start up by having a free version of that. I think there's a free trial that you can have for 3 or 7 days, and you can kind of try the app. Headways is the app that I'm talking to you about. So you can listen while you're driving. You can kind of while you're working out and things like that. You can kind of most of the time when I'm doing the ditches, because I have to go and do chore works too as well. I'm honest. I have to go and do the dishes, right? I put my headphones and stuff, and then I can listen to, some of those good stuff, like professional development and topics of that nature. All right, my friend. Bendiciones a todos y nos vemos en el próximo video. Recuerden, si te suscribes, yo me suscribo a tu canal. Okay, if you subscribe to my channel, I subscribe to yours. Okay, if you like what you're seeing, the content, well, let's grow together. And yeah, you have a good day. Bye-bye. God bless.